Hi guys, it's April. So I figured I'd catch you guys up on what I've been reading so far this month. I'll go through everything I've read from January, February, and March, and I'll give you my spoiler-free thoughts on them, and if you should read them or not. And also, we might take a look at my TBR video and see how's that going. Okay, so I started off the year strong with the Letters of Enchantment series, which was Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. And Divine Rivals was amazing. It was a great book to start off the year on, and it was so good. Book 2 wasn't as good, in my opinion, as book 1, but that's entirely subjective, and I really did enjoy both of these books. I believe I read them back to back. Okay, so yeah, I did read these back to back and in quick succession of each other, and they were the perfect way to start off the new year. Okay, so if you don't know what Divine Rivals and its sequel is about, it's basically a fantastical World War II setting where there's this big war going on between these two gods, and they're fighting, and these two journalists, who both want the same job, have to go to the front lines and write reports about what's going on for the people back home. And also, the main character, Iris, is writing these letters originally to her brother, but apparently her brother hasn't been getting these letters. Instead, some mystery person has been, and they just started writing back to her, and she's like slowly falling in love with this mystery person, while also seeing like what war is actually like. And it's really good. I really, really, really liked it. I went from those books to two books that I did not care for at all, and that actually turned me off from reading for a while. So these were two Christian fiction books. I had read book 1 years ago, like I think during quarantine, back in 2020, and I liked it enough that when the second two books were available for me to read, I procrastinated and then read them. And I did not like them very much. But book 1 is good. If you're into Christian fiction, then you should try it out. They're The Sugar Baron Daughters by Lisa Bergren. I followed that up with a very good book, actually, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson, which was amazing. If you don't know what Warbreaker is it's a standalone Brandon Sanderson Cosmere novella, or novel, not novella. And it's really good. It's a light-based magic system. It's very easy to get into. The magic system is looser than a lot of Sanderson's other magic systems. It's not as complex, but yet it's very intriguing and engaging. The two main characters are sisters. One of them was supposed to go off to this other country and marry the God King, and the other sister went in her stead. And so she was like, well, I don't have a purpose anymore, so I'm going to go save her, because I know what that country's like. And watching them grow separately but together was just so good, and it's a good book. You should definitely pick it up if you're thinking about getting into the Cosmere. It's a good starting point. I followed that one up with the Shatter Me series, which was going to be my YA series for this month, well, for this year. Shatter Me was fine. I'm not really big into her writing style. If I read it when I was 12, it would probably be one of my favorite series. But I think reading it as an adult, it's just not made for me. I don't know if I'll continue the series. I've read another book in it. I don't know if I have to read more and then I'll be engaged, or if I need to just stop. But we'll see what happens on our next wrap-up. I went from book 1 of that series to book 1 of another series that I'm buddy reading with my sister. It's another Christian fiction. It's called Come Back to Me. It's a Christian science fiction book. Basically, this girl, her father was trying to find the ultimate cure for cancer or for an illness that her sister has. And somehow she ends up going back in time and has to try to figure out a way to get back to the present, but also with trying to find this magical cure. I don't know. The story itself was fine. I didn't like the ending, and I don't know if I'm going to continue it. I'm sorry, sister. I followed that one up with a little novella from the Stargate series called 0 Point, which basically follows Dr. Zelenka on a mission. It was really good. I enjoyed it. The audiobook was very, very short, but it was actually narrated by the actor himself, and I just thought that was really cool. I'm hoping I'm able to read more of the Stargate novellas or novels, but so far my library has not been helpful with that. Okay, I also joined a book club this year, and so a lot of the books I'm going to be reading this year are not books I would normally pick up. And that includes Bridgerton, book 1. I really liked the Bridgerton show. I thought that was good. I did not like the Bridgerton book at all. A lot of the problems I had between the two main characters in the show was even worse in the book. It was insta-love. It was all of a sudden the guy is just obsessed with the girl. It was, oh, we had all these problems before, but I've changed my mind, so all those issues, we don't even need to talk about them. I'm just okay with it. And it's like, just talk to each other. Like, if they had just sat down and had conversations and were open and honest with each other, they could have worked out all the differences. Granted, yes, we would not have a book at that point. But, maybe, like, healthy relationships should be written about. Okay, we're not talking about that anymore. I also read the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, which I keep confusing with 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Their titles are just too similar. So if I accidentally call it 7 Husbands, I'm sorry. I read that book last year, and it's still on my brain, apparently. But the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle was good. I enjoyed it. It was kind of like a mystery combined with dystopian, like science fiction, which was a really cool mix. It's basically about this man who, every time he goes to sleep, he wakes up as a different person, and he has to try to solve the mystery of who's going to die and how they're going to die. And the whole time there's also this subplot of, what is he doing there? Is he human? How come he keeps popping up in other people's bodies? And it's really cool. I liked it. I had guessed almost everything about the book, but I also read a lot, and I'd rather books have the foreshadowing enough so that some people can guess it than have no foreshadowing and then the plot twist makes no sense. So I enjoyed it. I had a fun time with it. It was a little bit long, in my opinion, but if you like mysteries, it's a good read. I enjoyed myself with it. Then I had The Lost Metal, and also Mistborn Secret History. I kind of read them both together, which wasn't the greatest idea, but it's what happened. I thought Secret History was supposed to be after Lost Metal, but then people online were telling me that Secret History goes before Lost Metal. And I tried to post a post on the Cosmere subreddit, but my post got deleted because it was too close to the reading order post, but I couldn't find the answer to what I wanted on the reading order post. But it's okay, it worked out. I read them both. I can't say much to make this spoiler free about either one of those books, except to say that I still love Mistborn. I think it was a great ending to the Mistborn series. I'm excited to see what happens next in the Mistborn series. And if you want to know my more in-depth thoughts about Mistborn, I either have already published it or it's on my computer whenever this video goes live. I have a Mistborn series review thing coming to you guys. Okay, and then I just read a bunch of good books back to back after a bunch of awful books. It's good. I read Peace Talks by Jim Butcher, which is book like 15, 16, whatever, in the Dresden Files. So again, I can't say much about this book, except that it was so good. I did have some problems with it, but it was so good, and I cannot wait to read the last book, but I'm also really upset or sad. Scared. I'm really scared to read the next book, because it's the last one that's published, and I don't want to not have any more Dresden left. That's why it's taken me so long to read the whole series, because I don't want it to end, and I'm sad now that it's almost ending. I have that video also recorded. I don't know if it's published yet when this video is published, but either be on the lookout for it or go watch it. Okay, and then there's another video that I actually have to make because I finished Fourth Wing again for the third time. This one was another one of the book club picks. And so I've read Fourth Wing 3 different ways now. I've read the regular physical book, I've read the original audiobook, and the graphic novel. And I have not recorded this video yet, but I'm probably going to record it as soon as I'm done with this video. So either be on the lookout for it or go watch the video. It's basically, the way I like to tell people what to expect with Fourth Wing is it's an adult How to Train Your Dragon mixed with like Divergent and Hunger Game world building. With like epic fantasy like world building, because it's more expansive than Hunger Games and Divergent, but like the world setting is kind of Hunger Games, Divergent, with adult How to Train Your Dragon. And then the last book that I read in March was the second book in the Shatter Me series. Actually, I think it's the novella, which was fine. I don't know if I'm going to finish the Shatter Me series. It still had that same writing style that I'm not really into. It felt very juvenile. And I have so many books on my TBR right now that I just don't know if I can read books I'm not really that into, especially because I've read so many books so far this year that I've just been not into. So we'll see. We'll see if I do actually go through and finish the Shadow Me series or not. I can't really say anything about Destroy Me without spoiling Shatter Me. But yeah, so those are the books that I've read so far this year. I believe that's 15 books. Comment down below what you think I'm going to be reading next. And comment your TBR for this next quarter. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.